85 today in Midtown. Going to be a really nice summer weekend. Winds news time 8:14. Coming up next, the Yanks get a win and the Mets, well, they get wet.
When rehab is the next step, River Spring Rehabilitation in Riverdale can get you home faster and help you achieve maximum functionality. Our services at the world-renowned Hebrew Home at Riverdale can support any part of your rehab journey. River Spring Rehabilitation offers customized inpatient, subacute, outpatient, and in-home care for recovery from fractures, cardiac events, strokes, and prolonged hospitalization. Visit riverspringrehab.org or call 833-56-RIVER to learn more.
1 in 26 Americans will develop epilepsy, sometimes called a seizure disorder. For some, drugs help but can come with severe side effects. Others live in fear of the next seizure. Many have died suddenly, unexpectedly, far too young. Families can't wait for science to catch up. Cure Epilepsy is the only nonprofit laser-focused on finding a cure for epilepsy through research. Learn more at cureepilepsy.org.
Winds news time 8:15. Now Mark Renee with sports.
Well, Kathleen, it is rare we lead with soccer, but then again, the World Cups are only held once every 4 years, and the United States women's national team, looking for a record third consecutive title, got its latest run underway last night in New Zealand.
They'll try to track it down for you on a play for the USA corner. And that's going to do it. 9 blocks in stoppage time. USA gets the victory. It wasn't as easy as some may have thought. A 3-0 scoreline over Vietnam.
That final call on Fox from JP Della Camera. And how about 22-year-old Sophia Smith becoming the youngest player in World Cup history to score 2 goals in her debut. Meantime, Lionel Messi debuted for Inter Miami last night and paid them an immediate dividend.
Here it is.
Messi! A free kick goal in stoppage time to break a 1-1 tie on Apple TV+. Now the baseball story.
The pitch hit on the ground is short. Grabbed by Volpe, goes to third, and he's safe. That was a great play by Volpe. The ball was hit in the hole. He made a diving stop. He'd never get Witt. Witt can really run. Oh, he threw to third, and the tag was made, and you know what? There's going to be another replay review.
And John Sterling on the fan. That review would overturn the call, becoming the final out as the Yankees won 5-4 over the visiting Royals. Billy McKinney to go ahead 3-run homer, and also 2 sparkling plays in center field. The Mets were leading their game 4-3 in Boston, but play was suspended because of rain in the bottom of the 4th inning. They'll resume it this afternoon. Mark Renee, 10-10 Win Sports on 92.3 FM.
Winds news time 8:17. Well, we're all working. Oh, we still got a shot. Nobody won the $720 million grand prize in last night's Mega Millions drawing, so everybody's got a chance again. In Chino Hills, California, Carol Arredondo says she wasn't expecting to buy a ticket.
I came in for a cup of coffee, actually. I'm at 7-Eleven, and I thought I was going to get a cup of coffee, and I saw everyone in line, and I said, I'm just going to go for it. You never know unless you try.
Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot expected to grow to $820 million, the 5th largest in game history. Mega Millions has the estimated cash value of that's about $422 million. The numbers last night, just in case you were hoping for a second-tier prize: 29, 40, 47, 50, 57, Mega Ball 25, and by the way, $2 million tickets were sold in New Jersey. Winds news time 8:18. Top stories next.
Lance Jameson is one of thousands of patients who have benefited from the affiliation between ENT and Allergy Associates and the Mount Sinai Hospital.
Lance was suffering from a sinus infection that led him to Dr. Andrew Oyster from ENT and Allergy Associates.
Dr. Azer detected that Lance had something more serious going on. Because of ENT and Allergy's unique clinical affiliation with Mount Sinai, Dr. Azer got Lance and his medical records to Mount Sinai within 48 hours.
Dr. Satish Govindaraj of Mount Sinai Hospital performed a biopsy, which confirmed a benign tumor.
Surgery was scheduled that day. The post-surgery report? No evidence of cancer. For Lance, that was a real relief to hear.
ENT and Allergy Associates and the Mount Sinai Hospital. That's the power of partnership.
For your same-day appointment at ENT and Allergy, call 1-855-ENTA-DOC or or visit entnlsd.com/Mount Sinai.
At Advantage Chevrolet, they have over 700 new Chevrolets in stock and no place to put them except in your garage. Advantage Chevrolet, Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Find new roads. Attention homeowners, are you behind on your mortgage and need legal help now? Did your mortgage company promise to help you after the pandemic, but just keeps giving you the runaround? Are you facing foreclosure? Fine Law Office has helped thousands of your neighbors fight through the bank's red tape and save their homes. Call 1-800-503-1125. That's 1-800-503-1125. Mortgage rates are rising. Now is the time to fight to keep your home. Call Fine Law Offices 1-800-503-1125. That's 1-800-503-1125. Fine Law Offices is a 50-year-old A-plus rated law firm. Call 1-800-503-1125. At Fine Law Offices, nobody pushes their clients around. Nobody. Call 1-800-503-1125 or visit them at finelawoffices.com.
Stream 1010 Wins on the Odyssey app or get us on the radio at 92.3 FM.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning. 71 degrees at 8:20 on this Saturday, July 22nd. I'm Kathleen Marple-Kalb, and here's what's happening. Danger at a Newark Housing Authority building last night. At least 5 people hurt, 1 critically in a possible explosion. Pennsylvania authorities find a body in their search for a toddler missing in flooding there. Backing up striking actors and writers, 2 Midtown restaurants offering dine now, pay later. The V fires back. Vice President Harris takes on Florida's controversial new teaching about slavery during a Florida visit. What is Lana Del Rey doing at an Alabama Waffle House? It sure looks like she's working. We'll explain. Yanks win. Mets suspended for rain. U.S. women beat Vietnam in World Cup. 10 Winds AccuWeather. Sunny to partly cloudy. Less humid today. High 85. Windy semi 21. Traffic and transit now. Here's Jody Vale.
And Kathleen, let's check out the cameras here on the east side. Here in town, stalled vehicle northbound FDR causing a lot of delays. Approaching the RFK Triborough, that right lane is blocked. And in that roadwork zone, we have the construction between 96th Street and the RFK Triborough not helping things. So expect delays both ways. Queens, stall, northbound Van Wyck. This is blocking a lane and Northern Boulevard. And we're still jammed in the Bronx. Crash southbound New England Thruway. It's being cleared at the Hutch. And we have the roadwork jams, Bronx River, right near 233rd Street. Cross Bronx westbound, still jammed. Jerome Avenue, Alexander Hamilton Bridge, and still in the northbound Beacon up to the Cross Bronx ramps in that construction area. And watch out for more jams at the bridges and tunnels. So here's what you need to know about the GWB. Outbound still about 15 minutes from the westbound Cross Bronx. Inbound's about 5 to 10, leaning towards 10. Holland and Lincoln, we're looking at 5 to 10. And alternate side parking and meter rolls are in effect for today. Next report's happening at 8:31. 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Solving mysteries is hard. Streaming them isn't. This Mystery Month on BritBox, stream the best selection of British mysteries, including the newest seasons of Lisa, Silent Witness, Father Brown, Zura, and more. Stream at the free file now at BritBox.com.
A terrifying night in Newark.
I just heard boom, and all I saw from the side was glass flying,
And you was
windows and everything.
That's how resident Sylvia Murdaugh described to CBS 2 News what happened at a Newark Housing Authority building last night. Possible explosion left 5 people hurt, one of them critically. All this went down just after 6 p.m. at the building on South Pine Lane near Stephen Crane Plaza. Fire department called in a report of a building collapse. Witnesses say it looked like a tornado hit. Newark Director of Public Safety, Frisch Charget, says they are still trying to figure out exactly what happened. The critically injured person is said to have serious burns. Authorities are investigating. Red Cross working to help residents. More information expected later today. A new report says New York State is set to spend almost $800 million on temporary shelter for migrants. Times Union in Albany says state officials recently awarded a $799 million contract to 2 Texas-based companies. Paper also says one of those 2 companies made the maximum $5,000 contribution to Governor Hochul's re-election bid a week before the decision. A spokesman for the governor says they're working to get resources in place for state and local governments to help those contracts, help with migrants, and those contracts are part of that process, adding that they were competitively bid. Local statement also says the executive chamber was not involved in details of procurement. A migrant encampment under the BQE has been removed. City sanitation workers and the NYPD went in yesterday morning and dismantled the collection of tents off Hall Street and Park Avenue. The tents had sprung up in recent days as a makeshift home for at least a dozen people believed to be asylum seekers. Some told Gothamists earlier this week they'd been asked to leave a nearby shelter because after they complained about conditions. WINS News Time, 8:24. There's been a tragic ending to the search for a missing toddler swept away in the Pennsylvania floodwaters.
By physical description, authorities believe they found 2-year-old Matilda Shields in the Delaware River, 32 miles away from where she disappeared in Bucks County, Pennsylvania last weekend. The Philadelphia coroner will conduct an autopsy. Upper Makefield Fire Company Chief Tim Brewer.
District officers, along with the Philadelphia Marine Unit, was immediately dispatched to the area. The child was located in debris against the pier at the area of the waste management plant.
Authorities have said the South Carolina family was visiting relatives and friends when they got hit by a wall of water. The children's mother died in the flood. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
WINS News Time, 8:25. The former head of the NYPD Sergeants Benevolent Association sat on the wrong side of the law in court yesterday. He's asking a judge not to give him prison time for stealing from the group. Ed Mullins, now 61 years old, expected to face some 2.5 to 3.5 years in prison under a January plea agreement with Manhattan federal prosecutors. He admitted stealing the money from the SBA. Lawyers pointed to his 39 years of public service and said he's currently scratching out a living as a used car deliveryman because of the conviction. WINS News Time, 8:25.
Don't miss Goodnight Oscar, starring Tony Award winner Sean Hayes in the performance of a lifetime. Entertainment Weekly raves Sean Hayes strikes gold with a virtuosic tour de force. Hayes is a sensational miracle of movement, timing, and surprise in a show that truly deserves its standing ovation. And Variety declares Sean Hayes' bravura performance demands to be seen. Catch Tony Award winner Sean Hayes in Goodnight Oscar on Broadway through August 27th only. Tickets at goodnightoscar.com.
Hey Manhattan business owners, this is Tiki Barber. Diversify your income and earn extra money for your business by partnering with Amazon Hub Delivery. It's a great chance to have your local business interact even more with your neighborhood. When you partner with Amazon Hub Delivery, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your neighborhood on a schedule that works for you. It's easy to get started too, with no upfront costs, delivery experience, or long-term contracts. Sign your business up today at Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. That's Amazon.com/Hub Delivery.
WINS News Time, 8:26. Now Bloomberg Money Watch.
Thanks to its longtime tourism campaign, we know that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
I have pictures. The sketchbook?
The commercials hint at wild escapes from the drudgery of everyday life. But there's another and less exciting reason people go to Las Vegas. Meetings.
20% of our mix is convention business travel.
Says MGM Resorts CEO Bill Hornbuckle. The owner of the MGM Grand and Bellagio is a major presence on the Las Vegas Strip. And once a new loyalty rewards partnership launches later this year, Marriott will be too. Marriott will also share its booking platform with MGM and revenue at 17 MGM properties, 12 of them in Vegas. Marriott CEO Tony Capuano says at those dozen resorts,
I think you have more than 4 million square feet of meeting space.
Something that Marriott finds attractive as it chases a recovery in business travel, wherever those travelers might be. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Tracy Johnke for 1010 WINS on 92.3 FM.
Behind on your mortgage, visit homeownerhelpny.org. Coming up next, 2 Midtown restaurants are offering direct help for striking actors and writers.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-489-5660 if you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns. Help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-489-5660 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-489-5660 to see if you qualify. That's 800-489-5660.
There's a right way and a wrong way to fight off mosquitoes. Ooh, karate chop in the air, in a public place, in front of your kids and their friends, is the wrong way. Using STEM mosquito repellent is the right way. STEM effectively repels mosquitoes by harnessing active ingredients found in plants like lemongrass and peppermint, making it safe for use as directed around people and pets. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science, and embarrassment-free.
At Granger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way. Offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
71 and sunny, going to 85 in Midtown. Good morning. I'm Kathleen Morphle-Cow. Winds news time, 8:30.
Good morning, I'm Brian Britton. Two Manhattan restaurants offering a lifeline for striking writers and actors, Marseille and Niza's in Hell's Kitchen. They both got a dine now, pay later deal. Union members invited to come and eat after 9 p.m. any night, free of charge. Robert Gorin, the co-owner of Marseille, he spoke with NBC4.
Create a house account, and if they're able to pay later at some point in the future, great. If not, we're not too worried about it.
Folks who make a reservation in advance, you just walk in and show their union cards. David Long is a frequent customer of Marseille.
I think it's a great thing that they're doing for the writers. It just only endears me to this restaurant even more.
Writers have been on strike since May 2nd, actors following on July 14th. This is not the first time these restaurants have helped out the creatives in the community. During the pandemic, they offered a similar deal to members of the Actors Equity Association who were affected by the Broadway shutdown. Winds news time, 8:31. Traffic and transit, take it away, Jody Vale.
And Brian, let's go to New Jersey. If you're shorebound Garden State Parkway, see the slowdown southbound between exits 142 right around Route 78, Vauxhall Road 141. More delays between exit 150, Hoover Avenue, and the Essex tolls. In Parsippany, we're seeing stop and go, mainly stop 80. That's the local lanes westbound between 287 and Parsippany Road at exit 42. And in the Bronx, we're clearing out this crash, causing a lot of delays and jams southbound New England Thruway approaching Conner Street, exit 13. Those delays going back to exit 15. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. About 10 to 15 out at the GWB from the westbound cross fronts. Inbounds about 5 to 10. Holland, about 5 to 10 both ways. Traffic sponsored by seafood.nj.gov. When you're talking about seafood, the word that matters most is fresh. When you're looking for fresh seafood, the place that matters most is the Jersey Shore. You go to a restaurant in Jersey, you're getting the freshest seafood you'll ever get anywhere. You'll know it from the first bite. Find your next delicious meal at seafood.nj.gov. Next traffic reports in 10 minutes, 10:10 winds on 92.3 FM.
Get outside if you can. I ran downstairs in between shows just so I could experience a non-rainy Saturday. It was actually gorgeous out there. The AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Here's meteorologist Matt Benz.
And if you can't enjoy it today, enjoy it again tomorrow, because tomorrow, just as nice as today, maybe even a bit more shine. So be generous with the sunscreen here for this weekend. Sunny to partly cloudy for today. Of course, lower humidity. That's what's really making it feel so much better to be outdoors. Heading up to a high of 85 here for this afternoon, which is our typical average high this time of the year. Tonight, mostly clear, low near 70 here in the city, close to 60 in some of the suburbs. Again, tomorrow looking fantastic, mostly sunny, low humidity, a high of 86. And here comes July again for Monday. That humidity begins to creep up a bit into Monday afternoon. Could lead to a thunderstorm in spots north and west of the city with a high of 86. And then just plain old humid for Tuesday. It will be warm with the thunder shower around mainly for the afternoon with a high of 86. Currently at 71 beautiful degrees in Central Park. We have a relative humidity at 62%. Repeating the current temperature 71, heading up to 85 this afternoon in Midtown. I'm meteorologist Matt Benz on New York's weather station. 10-10 winds on 92.3 FM.
Matty B, thank you, sir. 71 in West Orange, 73 in Merrick and Bronxville. It is 70 degrees. Vice President Kamala Harris slamming Florida's social studies curriculum. The latest edition that will include lessons on enslaved people benefiting from slavery. In a speech to supporters in Jacksonville, Harris called it insulting.
Middle school students in Florida
to be told that enslaved people benefited from slavery. High schoolers may be taught that victims of violence, of massacres, were also perpetrators.
She says black Americans should fight back against efforts to rewrite their own ancestors' history. Meanwhile, Florida Governor and Republican presidential hopeful Ron DeSantis dismissed Harris's comments.
Ron DeSantis has responded, calling the vice president's criticisms ridiculous and outrageous. And he initially defended these new standards, calling them robust, thorough, and factual. But when pressed on students being taught that slaves may have benefited from the skills they developed, DeSantis was quick to distance himself, saying he wasn't involved with it.
Correspondent Mary Bruce. Russia coming under growing pressure after attacking Ukrainian ports and pulling out of the year-old grain deal. Yesterday, members of the United Nations Security Council, including its ally China, raised concerns of a global food crisis. At a UN meeting, Ukraine's ambassador says Russia's attacks on Ukraine's ports is all about money.
Deliberately raise world food prices and make profits at the expense of millions of people around the world.
Russia has also declared wide areas in the Black Sea dangerous for shipping, which the UN warned could lead to a military incident with what they call catastrophic consequences. Pfizer's plant in Rocky Mount, North Carolina remains closed after Wednesday's tornado. Officials say most of the damage was to a warehouse facility, not to its manufacturing area. The plant supplies nearly 8% of all sterile injectable medicines used in U.S. hospitals. Some experts fear the natural disaster could exacerbate drug shortages in the U.S. Crews are on site working to restore power and to assess the structural integrity of the buildings. Pfizer says it's looking at alternative manufacturing locations in the U.S. and internationally. A legal battle over the backpack Indiana Jones wore in the new movie. The small American company Frost River filing a lawsuit this week against Lucasfilm. It claims the movie makers used its signature backpack in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny without permission and then passed it off as a competitor's product in a deceptive marketing campaign. The company pointing to a violation of federal trademark law. No comment from Lucasfilm. Wednesday news time 8:36. Got some more entertainment news coming your way. Interesting new job for a singer. Got that story next.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeat, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, from the feelings that move us, the places that pull us, on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing all cylinders.
Ray Catena Audi Freehold has one goal: to make your car buying